Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of R2-D2 from Revenge of the Sith and R5-D4 from Star Wars The Mandalorian. Both figures, neither one of them are from the first trilogy. Sorry. The R2-D2 is packaged the way the figures were for Revenge of the Sith, but in a 6-inch format. And he was a Walmart exclusive, which explains why the package is just decimated. R5-D4, on the other hand, I found at the comic book store, and when I found him, it did occur to me that the droids are now on the larger bodies and not on the kind of the legacy bodies. So we're going to look at both the legacy body and the new body in just a minute, because I've got those also. I've got the first version of R2-D2, and I've got the very first. I think R5-D4 was a GameStop exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I don't know. He's got that shiny ring of stuff around his neck, and he doesn't have that up here. I don't know if I missed the shiny ring of stuff, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, oh, I do miss it a little. Also, he's got the one red eye in the middle, R5-D4, and on this one, the ports are all colorless. I already don't like the lack of detail on that, but it's on a larger body, it looks like, so we're gonna take a closer look at that. The R2-D2 from Revenge of the Sith seems to be like any other R2-D2, except he has the thrusters on the side here that go right alongside his legs. But he has all the tools. You can see some of them are crushed in a little bit, but there's some tools here and some tools here. I don't know if that's all the tools he has. I see a side panel there and a side panel there, so you can stick the tools in. And he might have that new thing where the head comes off and the tools can store in there. I'm not absolutely sure. But of course it demonstrates that he has all this. Oh, he has the laser pistol one. I like that hand. That wields a little, maybe torch, or maybe that is a little laser hand. But it's celebrate the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Gosh, was it 20 years ago? Well, it's been more. I think it's taken me a little while to get this out of the package. But Walmart has, I have problems with Walmart. They've canceled 2 of my pre-orders for things that I got at the same time that I got R2-D2 from their, I think, Collector's Day. I buy the stuff like fast. I get on and then I hit refresh until that stuff is live, and then I put it in the cart and I check out immediately, and I still get stuff canceled. But luckily R2-D2 came out super fast, real quick, and he was mine in a matter of days. And of course, not days, maybe it was soon though. But of course, it came at a cost. They just threw it into a envelope and sort of sent it, and it got crushed, which is fine. I'm going to take him out of the package, but it's still irritating. I know some of you are feeling my pain. Some of you are like, yep, that sounds about right. R5-D4, of course, has the cool artwork on the side. He has the orange Mandalorian stripe. Has a little bit of detail about who he is. And, it focuses on the Mandalorian, so it doesn't cover anything he did on Tatooine. Or, well, is he still on Tatooine? Yes, I guess that's still on Tatooine. That makes sense. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Mandalorian was on Tatooine. Okay. So he just has been on Tatooine for a long time. And that is R5-D4. So he comes with a lot of tools. I don't remember regular R5-D4, this R5-D4 coming with a lot of tools. But maybe he's got side panel. He must have come with tools, the original one, because he's got pop out stuff in there. He's got stuff you could just pop out. Okay, he had 2 little devices in there Looks like a port to jack in and maybe a shocker tool, but there isn't any place to plug stuff in. It just folded out and folded back in. So R5-D4 didn't come with this stuff in the past that you could plug in. He came with stuff that you could sort of just extend. And as far as he's the third leg. That's cool. But he didn't have all of these, and now he has as much function as R2. He has 6 attachments, and R2 has 4, 6, 8 attachments. R5-D4 has some slight different things than R2, but essentially he has places he can plug in now. So why don't we take them out of the package and see what we think about them in person? Now that they're out of the package, let's take a closer look at R5-D4 from the Mandalorian and the Walmart exclusive Star Wars Black Series R2-D2 from Revenge of the Sith. Start with R2-D2. It was pretty standard from the last review that I did for R2, except for the side thrusters and things, but I'm not sure how they compare gadget-wise. You have like a little laser pistol, and I think it's the little thing that he uses to connect to networks, and he's got a kind of a grappling hook thing. I'm not really sure what that does. Standard claw thingy that he can probably hold a pistol in. Of course, I already took off the arm that had the little pistol in it. He has the replacement side plates. He came with those on. He didn't come with these on. These were 2 separate parts, but it's his side panel with the thruster deployed and of course an effect for the thruster, which just fits into the port really nicely and stays really well. But then you can take the plate and just put it right back on his leg, and then boom, he's R2-D2 again. And of course, both panels open up here, and he has this. I'll take this off also and put back on the regular plate. Here we go. The third leg was a little bit difficult to get out. I had to use a screwdriver and kind of pry it out. So that was kind of a pain. Long gone are the days of just sort of twisting him and getting that stuff out. You got to kind of pry at it. Of course, he's got the telescoping head. It's easy to access if you turn his head to the back, take it off, and then you can put all of his parts in here. Oop, I pushed his leg back in. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm never going to get that leg back out. But he's got little grooves here where you could put his tools. From my last review, the tools don't really stay put too well. But you can put them in, and it helps when you close the head to have everything sort of in its place. You put the head back in, and boom, that thing is stored. So that is a really cool thing, and it's I'm guessing it's standard with R2-D2 from now on. You're gonna have. Why did that fall over? That was weird. I'm like, R2-D2 is the most stable figure usually. R5-D4, I put everything in. I put whatever this little tiny device is. I don't know what it is. If it's a communicator, maybe he gives it to somebody and they can hold it and they push a button or something. I'm not really sure. It does plug in to one of the ports because I had it plugged in a second ago. Of course, he has a little, looks like a drill, some kind. He has a something, I don't know, maybe that's his port to plug in. No, he has one of the R2-D2 kind of things to plug into a network. That's got to be like a shock device of some kind. It's got a cool end on it. I'm not really sure what that does. And then this, which I'm also not sure what it does. Not really sure what stuff R5-D4 does. Of course, the third leg had to pry it out. Suddenly I'm from Nebraska. I had to pry it out. Or is that Canadian? The thing around his neck is nice. It's not, shiny nice like the original, but nice. It's got the little thing above his eye. He has the, turn his head back. He has the extendable neck also, where you can store his tools and things. And that is very cool, because that's a really nice feature for the droids to be able to carry all of their cool stuff around. It's got the big antenna. Now let's just take a look real quick at oh, R5-D4 wants to pitch forward too. That's so weird. So this is the two newest, R2-D2 and R5-D4. R5-D4 I think came out maybe last year or this year. It's 2004, 2025. R2 definitely come out in 2025 because he was like a Walmart Collector's Con kind of deal. This is what the original R2-D2 looked like. The very first iteration of R2-D2. This is the very first R5-D4, which I think was a GameStop exclusive. You can see the cool, shiny thing around his neck, which, you know, close up maybe looks hokey, but far away gives you that illusion of kind of light coming from below the neck a little bit. Of course, he's got a little bit of a kind of a grimy paint overlay here, just a little bit. They didn't really mess him up too much. They just gave him a little bit of sheen of dirt. But of course, he was supposed to be, you know, Star Wars, the original movie, R5-D4, and not the Mandalorian R5-D4. Of course, you know, the paint is just a little bit different. The bottom here and the bottom there. But that's a little bit different on R2. Also, the vents are a little more well-defined, and there's black paint in the vents, and here there's no black paint in the vents. I think you're getting a lot of extra production value out of this R2, so I'm not complaining about black vents. If people want black vents, they can put black vents in themselves. That's fine. But a lot of things have changed just with the droids, but now we're getting actual 1/6 scale with the rest of Black Series, which, believe it or not, well, don't believe it. Well, believe it, because it's absolutely true. I didn't notice that that R2 and R5-D4 were out of scale with the rest of the figures. I hadn't sort of compared things side by side, so I didn't know. I just trusted that this was 1/6 until, of course, they came out with this. So the 40th anniversary figures, still had tiny R2-D2 in it, and some of the, I think there was a 4-pack or something, a Disney 4-pack that had an R2-D2, and that I think was tiny R2-D2. So there's a couple of tiny R2-D2s in different waves floating out there. Luckily, we only got one small R5-D4, and that was, I'm still going to say it was a GameStop exclusive. I'm not sure. But I'm super happy with the R2-D2 with the he's very cool with the thrusters. I think that's just really, really awesome. I like that a lot. And if you have another R2-D2 and you want to just keep the thrusters and the plates and everything and keep all the gadgets and then sell off the rest of your R2-D2s, that sounds like a great idea to me. You only really need one R2-D2. I don't know, unless there's a difference in the paint and everything. Same with R5-D4, unless, you know, this one's bright white, except it has a little grunge, and this one's a little more toned down and a little more. If I had to describe it, it would have sort of a brownish tint to it. So it looks like it's been on Tatooine for long enough that no amount of baths could get all the grime off. So that's R5-D4 and R2-D2 from Star Wars The Black Series. They're the most recent versions of the characters paired with the very first versions of those characters. So until next time, enjoy your toys.